back to the next video. In this video I will show you how you can do confetti overlay on a live camera preview in Expo React Native for Android using CameraX and Media 3 effect. So let's get started. So first I'll show you guys the output. So here I have recorded the output, so I'll just play it. So first it asks for camera permission. I'll just give the camera permission. Now it displays the live camera preview to us. Now for the confetti to come, it does take a bit of time. So let's just wait. So don't just give up. Once you try to run this application on your side, if it does take a bit of time, just be a little bit patient. Here you can see on the right hand side the confetti starts coming. And then I can just click on the capture button and it will capture the confetti for us and display that inside an image view. So let's just wait. I'll just press the capture button in a second or two. So here you can see this is the image inside an image view with the confetti as well. So yeah, let's get started on how to do this. So here what the next step is to create an Expo React Native project. So you can just run this command inside your terminal and it will create an Expo React Native project for you. It will ask you for your app name, just give it some app name. Now just to quickly show you the documentation as well, there are multiple ways to create an Expo React Native project. I'm using this blank TypeScript template as you can see over here. But if you want, you can use all these other templates as well. The reason I'm using this blank TypeScript template is because it creates a blank, less boilerplate code with TypeScript support. That's why. Okay, once that is done, you need to go to this URL over here. So like I said, will be writing native code. I'm not using any third-party library. Also, the Expo version which I'm using is 53.0.2. Unfortunately, the Expo guys have still not updated to React Native 80, which has been released a month ago from the time me recording this video, but they still haven't updated it. I don't know why. But anyways, for our case this is fine. I don't think there will be any breaking changes as such. So just go to this URL next. So here you will have to select Android device, select development build, and I have already done all these steps. So here you will have to select your own operating system. I have already ran this command. I have set the Java home as well. I have also set up Android Studio as well. So if you haven't done this, you will have to follow this documentation, then do this particular bit of stuff, then do this particular bit of stuff. Then you will have to cd to your application, so the Expo React Native application inside your terminal, the cd to my app or whatever is your Expo React Native project name, and then just run this command. So this will install this Expo dev client dependencies as well. So you'll have to run this command. Once you run this command, you will have to run this command over here, npx expo run android. Once you run this command, you should see this Android folder being created for you. It will also ask you do you want to run your application on a simulator or a real device. So you don't have to run it. You can just press Ctrl+C. We'll run it at the very end once the application is done. Once we finish writing code, because we will be writing native code, right? So you can't just hot reload or hot refresh. You will have to run it from the start, so no point in running it now. Okay, then we need to create this module. So for that you need to go to this particular documentation. Like I said, this is only for Android, so we are not concentrating on iOS. So I'll open it inside a new tab, and here you can see you first need to run this command. Okay, then it will ask you some questions like what should be the module name. Don't enter anything, just press enter. That's it, and it will give you this. It should create this folder for you, modules, my module. That's it. Okay, now I'll just close this. Now a few things which you need to do. So first you need to go to the src folder, go to mymodule.type.ts, and here you can see this is the URL. Like this is the thing which we will use for sending, this key we will be using for sending the image URL from native Android side to Expo React Native side. Okay, now here I have commented this particular thing out. Now this all thing was present by default. I have not added this by myself. I will tell you what I have changed. I have commented these two things out. Now don't get confused by this URL and this URL. This URL is for sending the data back from native Android side or from native side to Expo React Native side, and this basically is a prop. We are not using any prop, so I have commented this out. And this particular thing is same what I have written over here. I have just changed the name on image taken just so that it makes more sense in our case. That's the only thing which I have changed. Okay, and I don't think I have changed anything inside my module. Just check once. I think this should be the same for you as well. Then once that is done, you need to go to the Android folder. You need to go to build.gradle, and here you need to add this dependencies block. So here you need to add this camera core, then this camera 2, camera life cycle, camera view, then Android X camera media 3 effect, which is still in alpha at the time of me recording this video, and this media 3 effect as well. If this library does become stable, make sure you use the stable version. Then Android X app compat 1.7.0 as well. Okay, once you add all this, you need to go to the main Android folder, go to app, src, main, android manifest.xml, and here you can see we need to add two things. First is this uses feature of Android hardware camera as well as this camera permission. So make sure you add these two things. Now we also require this write external storage, but this was added by default when we create an Expo React Native project, so I don't need to add it. Okay, and also the internet permission is a good thing to do. Okay, once that is done, let's just see how to use it. We'll see the implementation in a bit. So just go to app.tsx, and here are all the imports which I have written, so feel free to pause the video and copy all these imports. Then here we have one state for image URL, one state just to check whether camera permission was granted or not. Then here I am just checking whether the Android version is greater than 10 or not, greater than equal to 10, because from Android 10 we don't require the write external storage permission. So that's what I'm doing over here inside this method. Depending on the Android version, we are asking for the required permission, and here you can see once the permission has been granted, we just change the state of this particular variable over here as well. Okay, and inside use effect we just call this particular method over here. Once image URL is not equal to empty, then we'll just display the image using the image React Native image element. If it is empty, like at the default it is empty, and if camera permission is granted, then we just display this camera preview as well as our capture button. Else we just say display a text saying camera permission not granted, and these are the styles for that particular thing as well. Okay, then again you need to go to module, my module, go to src java, and here you first need to go to my module.kt. Okay, first you need to add this particular import. Now why we need to add this? Because we need to annotate this my module @ unstable API. This is because this media 3 effect libraries are bit like this is an alpha, right? But this unstable API is because of this particular library. Even though this is stable, the API is bit unstable. This is one of the quirks of Android development. Hopefully by the time you guys watch this video, they hopefully resolve this issue, but at least at the time of me recording we need to add this. Okay, and rest everything I have kept it as it is. Then just scroll down, and here inside my module we have commented this out because we are not passing any prof. So to comment out things in Kotlin, you just have to add this // and here also I have commented this out, events on load, and here I have this events on image taken, because that's the type which we are using over here, right? That's why I'm using events on image taken. That's the only change which you need to make. Now let's see the actual code on how to do this. Next file which you need to do is you need to open this my module view.kt. By default there will be some code inside this my module view file, so you will have to delete that file because we will be writing our own code. So firstly, these are all the imports, so feel free to pause the video and just copy all these imports which are there. Then here we are annotating this with @unstable API because we are using the media 3 APIs in this. That's why we have to annotate this, and given that this my module view is referenced inside my module.kt, we also need to annotate that as as unstable API as well. Then here is our event dispatcher for sending data from native Android side to React Native side or Expo side. Here is our activity. Here is our frame layout. This is the camera, this is the preview view, this is the image capture. Here we initialize our button, here we initialize our preview view as well. Preview viewfinder, which is the camera live camera preview, which you will see. Here is our camera executor service, and this is the process camera provider. Here is our back facing lens. Then here we initialize our set the layout params to our frame layout and add it to our parent view. Then here we set the layout params to our viewfinder. Here I call this method, I'll tell you more about it later why we are doing this. Then we add our viewfinder to our frame layout. Then we change the text background color, text color, as well as alpha of our capture button, and we set layout params for our button, add our capture button to our frame layout, and then we add a click listener. On click of it, we just call this take photo method. Then we override on attach to window, and if we have the camera permission, then we do viewfinder.post setup camera. Then we have this on detach from window, where we just shut down our camera executor as well as unbind our camera provider. Now here we are calling this method. So this is if you go to this particular URL over here, you will understand why we are calling it. This is basically a hack which we are doing. If you don't do this, you will see a black screen instead of your live camera preview. So this is a issue open React Native's repo since past 8 years, and they have still not fixed it. Then here we have this setup camera where we get hold of our camera provider future. We add a listener to it, then we get our camera provider, we bind our camera use case. Here we get hold of our rotation, then we get our camera provider. Here is our camera selector. Here we initialize our aspect ratio strategy. Here is our resolution selector. Here we initialize our preview. Here we initialize our image capture as well. And inside use case group dot builder, we add our preview use case as well as image capture. Here we initialize our media 3 effect. Then here we the confetti overlay code is written in a separate file, but here we have to create this immutable list and then add the confetti overlay to it. Then we do overlays builder dot build and set it to the media 3 effect. Then we add the media 3 effect to our use case group builder. We unbind our camera provider, we bind it to the life cycle. Then here inside take photo, we get hold of our image capture. Then inside simple date, we create a file name with the help of simple date format. Then we make use of content value by passing the display name, mime type, and if Android version greater than p, we also set the relative path. Then here we do image capture dot output file options by passing the content resolver, external content URI as well as content values. Then we do image capture dot take picture. Here we override on image saved, and here we send the URI of the saved image back to React Native side. Then we unbind our camera provider. Here we just check whether we have the camera permissions or not, and these are just variables which we are using inside our file. Now coming back to this particular file of confetti overlay, for that you need to create a separate file called confetti overlay.kt. Firstly, you need to copy your package name. The package name should be same what you have inside my module view.kt as well as my module.kt. Now these are all the imports which we have. Okay, so feel free to pause the video and copy the imports. Now coming back to this actual code, personally I don't really understand it. I have just copy pasted it from the Android documentation, so I'll simply scroll through this file. Feel free to pause the video and just copy it. Sorry about it, I don't really understand this. So here we are setting the width and height. Then here we are drawing over it. Now, like I showed you in the video, it was taking a bit of time for the confetti to appear. Maybe you can ask ChatGPT like how to decrease that particular time. I'm not sure where that exactly the time is. And here we are releasing this. Here we are starting it. Okay, here we are stopping it as well. And here we are adding. So here we are repeating the confettis. And here we have added 100 milliseconds. Okay, and here we are creating the confetti. So this is what the actual code is. We are drawing it over on the canvas. Okay, and here are the list of elements which will be used inside your confetti. So you can add more elements to, or gifs or emojis as well, not gifs, emojis as well over here. So yeah, that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye.